If a woman wants to leave you, she already has. She's just waiting for the moment that makes it official. Let that sink in. Most men are living in relationship limbo, thinking everything is fine. Meanwhile, the woman they love is emotionally halfway out the door, just waiting for the right excuse. Or worse, the right replacement. The truth is brutal. Women don't end relationships the way men do. They don't storm out, they fade out. Quietly, strategically. Emotionally first, physically later. And if you don't know how to read the signs, you'll be left blindsided, humiliated, and questioning your entire worth as a man. Here's the twist most men don't want to admit. She doesn't just wake up one day and decide to leave, she plans it. And while you're busy trying to give her space or not argue too much, she's checking out mentally, day by day. Want to hear something even more controversial? Sometimes she already ended the relationship, in her head months ago. But you're still stuck in it because you think being the nice guy will fix it. Men have been lied to about female psychology. You've been told women are more emotional. But that's not the problem. The problem is they're more calculated emotionally. They protect their exit plan. They test your awareness. They see if you'll notice the withdrawal. If you're the type of man who keeps asking, "What did I do wrong?" she's already steps ahead of you. If you've ever had a woman suddenly lose feelings out of nowhere, it wasn't sudden. It was silent. You just didn't see it coming. This video is about seeing it before it hits you. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 7 signs that a woman is preparing to walk away, even if she hasn't said a word yet. These aren't just opinions. These are behavioral patterns, backed by female psychology and real-life experience. And once you start noticing them, you won't unsee them. So let's dive in. 1, she stops arguing. Silence replaces emotion. When a woman stops caring, she stops reacting. You might think the silence means things are getting better. Fewer arguments, less drama, more peace. But in reality, that silence, it's a warning sign, a very loud one. It means she's emotionally checked out. Men are used to thinking that constant arguing is the worst part of a relationship. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The opposite is worse. A woman who still argues is a woman who still wants to fix something. A woman who goes quiet? She's done trying. You'll notice she doesn't correct you anymore. She doesn't ask where you've been. She doesn't push back when you do something that used to bother her, and you think that's maturity? No, that's detachment. She's not letting things slide because she trusts you more. She's letting things slide because you're no longer worth the energy. You'll catch yourself thinking, wow, she's really chilled out lately. But that calm isn't love. It's emotional distance. It's her building a wall brick by brick while smiling in your face. And the scariest part? You'll never hear the construction. Think back. Maybe you came home late and expected her usual questions. But this time, nothing. No reaction. She just looked up, nodded, and kept scrolling on her phone. That wasn't peace. That was disconnection. Men confuse silence with stability. But in female psychology, silence is the last stage before separation. It's when she starts rehearsing her exit in her head. Not crying, not begging, not arguing, just pulling away. And here's a real-world situation that plays out more than you think. You're arguing about something small. Maybe how you forgot to do something she asked. In the past, she would have gone off, expressed frustration, or even cried. But now, she just shrugs and says, "It's fine." Don't celebrate that. She didn't forgive you. She stopped seeing you as someone to hold accountable. That's far worse. Because in her mind, she's already transitioning, not to a new man yet, but to a new version of herself. One where she doesn't need to explain herself to you anymore. One where she's emotionally single, even if she's physically present. And the truth? Most men don't notice until she's already packed. So here's the real lesson. Don't wait for the argument. Pay attention to the silence. It's louder than you think. 2, her attention goes elsewhere. But you're still around. Here's what most men don't understand. When she starts losing interest, her attention doesn't vanish. It just gets redirected. You're still there. She's still replying, still coming home, still saying good night. But her mind? Already somewhere else. Maybe it's her phone. Maybe it's her job. Maybe it's new hobbies you weren't invited to be part of. Maybe, and here's the tough pill, it's another man making her feel something she hasn't felt with you in a long time. Seen? The scariest part? She doesn't even have to cheat to be gone. Because when a woman's emotional focus shifts, the relationship is already bleeding out slowly. You'll start to feel like background noise. She'll smile at messages you didn't send. She'll light up at plans that don't include you. And you'll notice her investing in everything, except the connection you once shared. Here's what it looks like in real time. She used to ask how your day went. Now she just says, cool. She used to remember your big meeting. Now she forgets. She used to watch your favorite show with you. Now she's binging something new, alone. You're not being punished, you're being phased out. Most men respond to this by trying to do more. More texts, more compliments, more date nights. But that's not what wakes her up. Because the issue isn't effort, it's energy. Her emotional energy is no longer rooted in the relationship. And if you don't see that shift for what it is, you'll keep playing the loyal boyfriend role in a connection that's already one-sided. Remember, she doesn't have to leave the room to stop being present. She just has to stop choosing you. So ask yourself, is her attention still on this relationship? Um, or is she just keeping you around while her heart wanders? 3, affection turns robotic. Intimacy feels scheduled. Something changes in her touch. It's not that she stops being physical altogether. It's that the warmth disappears. The spark fades. The little things that once felt natural start to feel forced. She hugs you, but it feels like a checklist. She kisses you, but there's no pause, no linger. She lays next to you, but the energy is cold, distant. You might be thinking, well, life gets busy, people change. True. But here's the difference. When affection is still real, even in stressful times, it has a pulse. It's alive. It flows without needing to be planned. But when a woman is checking out, affection becomes a transaction. She starts giving just enough to avoid suspicion, just enough so you don't ask questions. And as a man, it's easy to fall into denial. You tell yourself she's tired or stressed or just going through something. But deep down, you feel it. She's not holding you the same way. She's not initiating anything anymore. She's not reacting when you do. You notice it in the bedroom too. Not just less frequency, but less connection. She's present in body, but absent in emotion. It's not about passion anymore, it's about formality. And that hurts more than rejection. Because it feels like she's acting. Like she's trying to convince herself she's still in it. But you know better. The silence during cuddles, the quick goodnights, the dry I love yous. It's all part of a slow fade most men ignore until it becomes undeniable. This isn't about sex. It's about emotional closeness. When a woman starts rationing her affection, something has already shifted. And here's the trap. You think you need to work harder to earn it back. You think it's your fault. But it's not always about doing more. See, sometimes it's about noticing that she's already pulled away. And what you're chasing is the version of her that no longer exists in this relationship. 4, her social circle expands. You're not invited. Here's something men don't talk about enough. She starts building a life that doesn't include you, and you don't even notice. At first, it looks innocent. She's going out more, making new friends, spending more time with coworkers or in new circles. You tell yourself, that's good, she's being social. But here's where men need a reality check. If her world is growing and you're not part of that growth, you're being replaced by lifestyle, not just people. This is where most men fumble hard. You see her out more and assume it's about her having fun. But what she's really doing is testing what life feels like without you constantly in it. And the truth is, she's probably liking it. Now, here's the uncomfortable criticism. Most men miss this shift because they're too comfortable. You got lazy. You stopped being curious about her world. You started thinking that love was enough and effort could rest. She's not cheating, she's evolving, and you're stuck in autopilot. And if you don't start paying attention, you'll watch her build a whole new support system that no longer includes you emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. A lot of men are sleeping through the emotional side of their relationship while their woman is out there rediscovering herself. Let me say it straight. Just because she's still with you doesn't mean she's still for you. If you're not showing up, not just physically, but mentally, and she's going to stop waiting for you to notice. She'll start investing in places where her energy is appreciated. And eventually she'll look around and realize she doesn't need to leave because she already left. So here's your wake up call. Stop assuming loyalty is permanent. Stop thinking comfort is a strategy. Start recognizing when your woman's life is expanding without your presence, and do something about it before you become a stranger in her story. 5. She starts comparing, you never measure up. This one stings because it's quiet but brutal. She doesn't come out and say it directly. She doesn't look you in the eyes and say, you're not enough. No, it's more subtle than that. She starts mentioning other people, other couples, other men. The way her friend's boyfriend really supports her. How her coworker just gets it, he listens. How some guy online said the exact thing I was trying to tell you. And suddenly you start feeling small. Like no matter what you do, you're not quite hitting the mark. But here's what you need to understand. When a woman starts comparing you to others, she's already emotionally stepped outside the relationship. She's looking at the gap between what you were and what you no longer are. And let's be honest, sometimes she's not wrong because a lot of men get comfortable. They stop showing up the way they did at the start. They stop being intentional, stop communicating, stop evolving. And that's when the comparisons creep in. And because women notice the decline in effort before they ever lose love. Now, don't confuse this with her being ungrateful. This isn't about her expecting perfection. It's about emotional needs no longer being met. And instead of voicing it like before, she starts measuring you against someone else's standard, real or imagined. You'll notice her tone changes when she talks about other people. She lights up. She feels seen. She respects them. Then she looks at you, and all you see is disappointment. Or worse, indifference. Here's the kicker. Comparison is the beginning of replacement. When she starts looking outward to feel what she used to feel with you, it's only a matter of time before someone else becomes the one she turns to. So ask yourself, when she talks about other men, other situations, other standards, is she just venting? Or is she trying to wake you up? Because if you don't start listening between the lines, you're going to lose her to a version of you that no longer exists. 6. Random fights that don't even make sense. At first, you think she's just being moody. She snaps at small things, picks arguments over nothing. Suddenly, everything becomes a problem. The way you breathe, the way you talk, even the way you chew. But here's the truth. The fights aren't about what you did today. They're about what's been building for months. When a woman starts arguments over things that used to slide, it's not because she wants drama. It's because she's emotionally full, overflowing. She's been biting her tongue, holding things in, giving grace. And now, that grace is gone. But it's more than that. These fights aren't even about solutions. She's not arguing to fix things. She's arguing to feel something, to confirm what she already suspects. I don't feel safe, seen, or satisfied here anymore. You feel like you're walking on eggshells. One wrong word and boom, she's cold, distant, or straight up done talking to you. And here's where a lot of men mess up. You try to logic your way through it. You say things like, why are you so sensitive? Or, this is such a small issue. And just like that, you lose her even more. Because what she's really fighting about has nothing to do with the socks on the floor or the text you forgot to send. She's angry that she has to fight alone to feel understood. The arguments? They're her last attempt to be heard, even if it comes out messy. They're a warning sign. But if you keep treating them like random explosions, you'll miss what they really are. Emotional proof that she's already preparing to leave. And the worst part? When she finally decides she's done, she'll stop fighting altogether. She won't yell, she won't cry, she'll go quiet. And that silence, it's not peace. It's the end. 7. Sudden self-discovery without you in the picture. Here's a powerful sign most men ignore. She starts reinventing herself. But you're not part of the story. She's in the gym now. She's eating clean, reading books, setting goals. She's talking about peace, growth, alignment, protecting her energy. You think, that's great. She's evolving. But here's the red flag. She's not bringing you with her. You're watching her become a new version of herself, one that doesn't include you, consult you, or even acknowledge your role in her growth. This isn't about self improvement, it's about emotional separation disguised as self love. Now, don't get it twisted. Women absolutely have the right to grow. But when that growth becomes selective and you feel like an outsider in your own relationship, that's not transformation. That's preparation. Preparation for independence, for singlehood, for a life that no longer revolves around you. And a lot of men get blindsided by this shift because it doesn't come with hostility. She's smiling, calm, focused. She's finally doing her. But you don't feel connected to that journey. You're not part of the conversations anymore. She doesn't ask for your input. She doesn't care if you understand. And here's the truth. When a woman finds herself and you're no longer part of that discovery, she's already left the relationship emotionally. Most men miss it because they're too busy thinking, at least she's not mad anymore. But calmness after chaos doesn't always mean healing. Sometimes it means detachment. So pay attention. If she's leveling up, but you feel left behind, if she's finding her voice, but you're not part of the dialogue, she's not just changing, she's separating gracefully, silently, and permanently. Here's the truth most men don't want to hear. A woman doesn't leave when she walks out. She leaves long before you ever notice. By the time she tells you, I'm not happy, she's already had that conversation with herself 100 times. You were just the last one to find out. These 7 signs aren't meant to make you paranoid. They're meant to wake you up. Because if you're seeing even 2 or 3 of these patterns, chances are you're not in a healthy relationship anymore. You're in the final stage, the quiet countdown. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever seen any of these signs and ignored them? Have you been in a relationship where you felt her slipping away but couldn't explain it? Drop your experience in the comments. I read everyone. Let's talk about it. I'll be responding personally to connect with those of you who've been through this or are going through it right now. You're not crazy. You're not alone. But you do need to stop pretending not to see the signs. Let's talk.